Sam, I got to testify.
Mm-hmm.
Jaren Hall is a lot better than I gave him credit for. And this is why. Now, has nothing to do with his actual play. I'm going to be honest with you. Because when you draft a guy, you see the draft clips, you're like, okay. And then you research a little bit because I did some work for the Vikings on Vikings.com, so I had to talk about that. So I watched a little bit. In my mind, though, this is the problem. In my mind, I had 6'3", 6'4" quarterback in my head. I'm like, Kirk Cousins, 6'4", Kevin O'Connell, 6'5", so we need 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". Then I started to think about, well, who else from BYU? Undersized, a lot of hype. And I apologize to Jaren Hall because he is not Zach Wilson. I right away said, you know what? BYU's offense, their coordinator is legit because he can take Zach Wilson and create an offense, and then he can take Jaren Hall and create an offense. And I love that in the offensive coordinator at BYU. Why? Because a lot of coaches say, this is my offense, and you're gonna play my offense. He's like, look, okay, Zach, I know what you're good at. Here's the offense this year. Jaren, oh, okay. I see what you can do, bro. Here's the offense. And so when you think about that BYU system, they ran a lot of zone read. The quarterback ran a lot. He's an athlete. But I was so caught up in Zach Wilson let us down. I felt like the Tyra Banks moment back when she had the model thing. And she's like, we were counting on you. I believed in you. Like, that's how Zach Wilson made a lot of us feel. Because everybody jumped on board with the Jets, hoping like, oh, okay, they finally found their quarterback. And it didn't work out. Now, whether it was immaturity, whatever. And so for Jaren Hall, here's one thing. He's a little bit older. I think he's a little bit more, he has a high character guy. You could already see, I think he's married with kids. So definitely already kind of an adult mindset. You're not going to see him out here sleeping with his teammates' moms. He's not going after the Cougars.
Who would do that? What BYU quarterback would do that, Ron?
Even though they are the BYU Cougars. I think he got it confused. They are the Cougars. They don't need to sleep with Cougars. But Zach Wilson got a little confused there. Like he grew up with Cougars. He's like, okay, well, that's where I go right now. Cougars. Where's my mom's best friends at? But I do apologize to Jaren Hall because the kid's legit. And this is what I say. When you can sit behind Kirk Cousins for a year or two, you can learn in this system. Russell Wilson, Drew Brees, same height. They were fine. You look at the running ability. I'm not going to say he's Jalen Hurts or Justin Fields, but he has the ability to move. I'd say not as strong as a Josh Allen, but that type of foot speed of a Josh Allen, but a little bit more shifty. I don't even know where to put him. But I do got to apologize. I got to testify to the locked in courts. I apologize, Jaren Hall. I spoke too quickly about because I didn't say bad. I think I kind of said I really wanted the tall kid from Stanford. That was me thinking like BYU, Zach Wilson, that offense. But watching more film as I deep dived him a little bit more, man, that kid's good. And I honestly could see it. And I'm not going to say this because I said this about Kellen Mond and it didn't work out, but I think Kevin O'Connell's a little bit more innovative than Mike Zimmer. I could see Jaren Hall having a package within this offense where it's like, look, if we're in the red zone, what worked for the Eagles? It was Jalen Hurts being able to submarine quarterback sneak, being able to roll out, throw or pass, run or pass. Like two options. If I'm rolling out, I can beat you with my legs. And if you come up and try to cover and tackle me, I'm dumping it over your head. So I don't know if Kevin O'Connell's going to do that, but maybe that's why they drafted him to have that option, to have a running option when you need them in certain situations, because we've seen it before. We've seen Jimmy Garoppolo in San Francisco. We've seen quarterbacks switch out. We saw Deebo Samuels go to running back. So these coaches are getting innovative, and Kevin O'Connell, I think, is just the next iteration of a coach that's willing to do that. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, Ron, it takes a big man to admit when you were wrong. So welcome to the Jaren Hall fan club. I jumped on this one right away, and I said, man, this guy does stuff that is special. Now, the red flags are obvious. Injuries at BYU were a problem.
Mm-hmm.
His age, he's 25. So is he kind of maxed out? Does he still have potential to get better? I don't know. And he's small. And when you're injury prone and small and mobile, it's not always a great combo in the NFL.
Correct.
But pocket manipulations, Ron, the way he bounces around and senses the pressure and can escape when he needs to, that's fun to watch. And he's got a pretty big arm, and he's productive. Like, Kellen Mond wasn't really that productive in college. I think they just liked his tools and his athleticism. Jaren Hall, 51 touchdowns, 11 interceptions the last 2 years, doesn't take many sacks. I really like him. And I hope that he is in a legit battle for the backup job, because if he's your backup, Ron, then he's suited up on game day, and then you can use him. Then Kevin O'Connell can really get creative and use him in that Taysom Hill role, which I think would be a ton of fun. Fans would love it, and that would get him just a little taste of the NFL game, just in case he's going to be on the field in a couple of years.
Yeah, and so for my second testimony, no, I'm not even testifying on this one because I was on board from the start. Before we jump into this, because we got Santana Moss coming up, I love it because this is a receiver day too, so I got to talk a little receiver quick before we jump to Santana Moss. But I heard in the presser, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow too, the press conference for the Vikings, just quickly, one of the reporters asked Jordan Addison, like, hey, how do you feel at this weight? Like, do you think you'll be able to play at this weight? And he's like, this is what I am. Like, what do you mean? Like, I've been doing this my whole life. And this is where I go with that I feel like it was a stupid take or question, and I get it. You have to ask these questions because he is smaller, skinnier. But you know who else was smaller and skinnier and also won a Biletnikoff? Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith won a Biletnikoff. 170 pounds, 6 feet. Jordan Addison, 5'11", 174 pounds. And the Vikings have the number one, food facility in the NFL. They have one of the top training staffs in the NFL. They have one of the top smoothie stations in the NFL. He's gonna eat. He's gonna work out. I mean, Coach Keys, the strength coach, he creates programs for those players specifically. He's gonna have a plan for this kid, Jordan Addison. And there's a thing about Jordan Addison that Devonta Smith didn't have early on. Early on in his rookie campaign, he didn't have A.J. Brown. He has 64 catches, 900 yards, and 5 touchdowns. What happens when he gets a Jalen Hurts that's really, really, really ready to go? Also, he gets A.J. Brown to kind of take pressure off of him. 95 catches, 1,100 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I'm not going to say Jordan Addison is going to have 95 catches, Sam, but this is what I do say. He has Justin Jefferson, so he's going to have some help. He's gonna be free to just go catch balls. He is 4 pounds heavier than Devonta Smith. So I thought that was a dumb question, but that's just me. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that quick before we jump to Santana Moss?
Yeah, I have no interest in slowing these guys down with extra weight. I mean, I think the fast receiver is very in style right now in the NFL. And Jordan Addison wasn't phenomenal in his straight line drills. I think he's really quick. I think he's quick with pads on. He carries his pads well because he does kind of pop off the film and you say, wow, that guy can fly. I don't have any interest in slowing that down just so he can, I guess, what's the practical benefit? Maybe he gets off press coverage a little better, but is it really going to have that much of an impact if he's 10 pounds heavier? I don't think so. I'd rather have a guy flying around, stressing the defense. And there's plenty of, productive, smaller wide receivers in this league.
As much as Kevin O'Connell shifted and motioned, he's going to be an off-the-ball receiver anyway. Justin Jefferson is going to be your X. He's going to be your Z. So he's going to be motioning. He'll be your W. He'll motion. He'll be in the slot. He'll move around. Like, he's not going to be an on-the-ball receiver all the time. Justin Jefferson's your guy because he strikes fear in DBs, and they don't want to press him all the time because if you miss, goodbye. It's a touchdown, and you're going to get grittied on national TV.